Thank you. I would like to invite Jack Bensimon up, a managing partner of ArcStone, to share a very special announcement about ArcStone Israel.
Thank you, Crystal, and I'd like to thank everybody for coming, sponsors, attendees, featured companies, presenting companies, and business friends and associates. It was only in March of last year, I was living and working in Mexico, and I got a call from one of our partners, Raj Ravindran, who's one of the founding partners of ArcStone, saying that Mike Estoni, who's our CEO, had identified an available broker-dealer, FINRA broker-dealer for sale in Brooklyn, New York. And it's not every day that these broker-dealers are up for sale. And so they said, can you help with the due diligence? And I said, of course I can help with the due diligence. I can do that with my eyes closed. My background is in securities law, not a problem. So I embarked into due diligence, and within a couple of days, we had a phone call, and I said, guys, we all see that there's an opportunity here to develop a US-Canada nexus here. There are a number of broker-dealers in Canada that don't have the US nexus, they don't have the US license, especially with a crowdfunding license that this broker-dealer came with, licensed in 33 US states. And so there's a real opportunity here. So I can help with the due diligence, but I really want to get involved as a partner, and I want to put capital in it and help you guys run the business. That started the nexus of ArcStone. We took us about 4 months to negotiate the transactions with lawyers in New York and in Canada. And in July, we penned the deal, just the three of us, myself, Raj Ravindran, Mike Estoni, who's our CEO. And then literally within 2 months, we were in business. We had 4 private company clients, 1 public company client, and we were already in business. We had people in our network that were supporting us. We started with our office in Vaughan, 2 floors on the 2nd floor and the 5th floor. Then we had an office in 360 Bay Street, which is our office right now. So we've grown from 3 people to an M&A head, from TD Securities to a head of Asia. We've got June Bernard here, June He, to about 30 plus people right now in about 14 months. Been significant growth. We've had a number of transactions. You saw Kevin Ernst from Kingswood. We had a partnership signed this year in March. We had our first fairness opinion, which was an M&A mandate with a NASDAQ company in the Middle East that was acquired by a Canadian company. We've had a lot of traction in the last 14 months alone. And one of the things that we looked at was we're always looking at strategic partners. We're looking at how to grow the business, et cetera. So now at about 33, 34, we're going to be announcing another JV in the next couple of weeks with another entity. But this particular announcement, I think, is personal to me. I was involved with the Peter Munk Foundation, Technion Canada. I chaired the endowment fund. And for those of you who know, the Technion University is in Israel. It's a very, very advanced, it's sort of the MIT of Israel. They have some leading technologies that come out of there and leading companies that come out of there. And there is a strong opportunity for companies in Israel to raise capital here and also to go public in the US markets. So I had met with a gentleman way back in 2017, 2018. We had talked about the idea. We had percolated the idea of potentially, running a broker-dealer here, focusing on Israeli companies. And that gentleman, his name is Oded Orgil. And he came to us recently with Mark Goodman, who is from Dundee Corp. Very well-known name, 2 very well-known names in the investment community. And they said, we love your platform. We love what you do. We love the team. We really would like to be a part of ArcStone Israel Securities and Investments USA Corp. So with that, we joined forces. We announced it just yesterday, as a matter of fact, of this new division of ArcStone. And with that, I'd like to introduce Oded Orgil up to the stage and talk about ArcStone Israel. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Can you guys hear me? Thanks very much, Jack. And Michael, thank you earlier today. I don't know where Kevin is, but Kevin, it took you 2 or 3 years to do the deal with ArcStone. Mark and I did it in 5 weeks or 6 weeks. So we move quickly. Maybe that's that Israeli background of mine. So first, how did this come about? When Mark and I started germinating this idea almost 3 years ago, we felt that there was an opportunity that Jack talked about. Many of you know intuitively or factually of the tremendous technology and opportunities that come out of Israel. Israel right now has the 4th number of companies on the US exchanges behind the US, Canada, and China. So there's always been an opportunity for those Israeli companies to go to the States. Mark and I felt that Canada, with its vibrant venture capital, and the opportunity existed here for those companies to come here. They haven't come here in the past because there's a tremendous amount of capital in Israel. And often they wanted to go to the US. Many of you have heard about whether it's Mobileye, Waze, and now Wix is in the news of valuations of north of $20 billion. But the opportunity to come to Canada, and again, we tell these Israeli companies, you're not coming to Canada, you're coming to North America. There's an opportunity for you to start in Canada, incubate, learn how to become a public company, raise capital at a lower valuation, grow, learn how to become, and when that time is right, you can move to the US. Now, earlier when it was Mark and myself, as we started gaining some traction over the last year, it was attractive. And again, some of these Israeli companies now started to look at Canada for a variety of both geopolitical issues, which are unfortunate, but also a recognition that there are other ways to raise capital besides using the traditional route in Israel, which is VCs. So Mark and I decided, again, when we started to work with them, and again, it was all coming together very nicely, and then fortuitously had a meeting again with Jack about 7 weeks ago, where Jack asked me, what are Mark and I doing? And we explained that to him. We felt that there was this opportunity. And then coupled with the fact of ArcStone, their entrepreneurial spirit, what Jack, Michael, and Raj have done together in putting a team in just over a year of 30 individuals and a full complement on the IROX or EMD side currently, then you add the partnership that they have with Kingswood. It now allowed Mark and myself to go to these Israeli companies and say, we can now support you right from Israel, come to North America, plant yourself here, and when you're ready to move to the US. Too often we've seen these Israeli companies, again, in the US, list at valuations, again, reasonable, 100 million, 200, 300 million. And unfortunately, whether through circumstances they could or couldn't control, dropped down in value. They went too quickly. Coming to Canada, again, with our markets, you can grow and mature. And as many of you know, you reach that $100 million, $150 million valuation as a company. And again, here in Canada, there's pension interest, there's institutional interest, there's retail. Allow yourselves to grow. Again, learn how to become a public company and then move on. If and when you're ready, now with our complement with ArcStone-Kingswood, we can take you all the way to NASDAQ, New York, or wherever you want. So in a nutshell, that's where we're at. We're thrilled to be here. We feel there's a tremendous opportunity. Happy to talk to issuers. We've already got one Israeli company here presenting, NeuroExxon, which again is working towards that pathway, and there's a few others. So the pipeline's filling up, and we look forward to working together with our partners at ArcStone and at Kingswood. And again, we've already established a team here. Sorry, I apologize. One last thing. There's 2 young men who've joined us already. Ori Abramson, who's, I don't want to call him a seasoned veteran at 31, but understands the sales side, and Eldor Osfeld, who comes to us, with a strong valuations, understanding CPA from Israel. So we're building that team here in Canada and looking forward to expand it. So if anyone has any questions, I'll be around all day, as will Mark. Happy to help and really excited about this opportunity. Thank you.